Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. There was some technology issue. I cannot switch the schedule Facebook Live to current live, so I have to create a new one. I hope I can still get everyone here. And today I'm going to demonstrate. I'll just show you an activity you can do with your kids. It's called a water cycle in a bag. So I pre-made this water cycle bag. Maybe it's a little bit hard for you to see. So this is the water cycle bag, which I will show you how to make this water cycle bag. The reason or the concept of this water cycle in a bag is oftentimes kids told me they couldn't really understand the concept of water cycle. Sometimes it's not that invisible for them, so it's a little bit hard, especially for younger kids, to grasp the idea, especially those abstract concepts. So when you make water cycle in a bag, so you can make it visible just in a Ziploc bag, and you tip it to the window. Then everyone can see what's going on, what is a water cycle. And to make a Ziploc bag, a water cycle in a bag, the materials you need, it's basically it's all the household supplies you will need. You need a Ziploc bag, and you want a Sharpie, and then it's a bowl of water, and something it's like food coloring. Blue is always better. Okay, so like I said, the concept for that, the water cycle in a bag, is just to just show those like abstract concept into some interesting hands-on activity. So I've done these activities with different age groups. So if you have a little bit older kids, I will say middle school or high school, because water cycle is they usually learn at fourth grade. So I've done that in my summer camp with fourth graders. They have no problem drawing water cycles. But some younger kids, I've done that to like second graders. Then it will be a little bit hard. What you can do is you can help them draw the water cycle and just let them facilitate. If some kids can, like if your kids couldn't remember the water cycle, what you can also do is like what I did here. So I drew the water cycle, so you can teach your kids the concept of water cycle and ask them to draw it on the Ziploc bag. So what I will start is from the sun, because the sun, let me get a clean paper, because so in that way we can do it all together. It's not that easy to see on Ziploc bag, so I will just draw on a paper. Then later on, you can also draw a paper like what I did here and show your kids and ask your kids to draw it on Ziploc bag, or you can just do it on Ziploc bag. So I will, like I said, I will start from the sun, because the sun is the main like element of the water cycle. It's the heat of sun provides energy to make water moving, to make the water cycle work. So what I will do first is just draw sun. Let me see if you can see better in that way. So I will just draw a sun like you can see here. Let's move my computer a little bit so you can see. So I draw a sun here, and the sun then evaporates the water from the ocean into water vapor. So here I have ocean, and the heat evaporates the water into vapor. So that's called evaporation. And then it's the invisible vapor rises into the atmosphere where the air is colder. The colder air causes water vapor to condense into water droplets and cloud. So what you can do here is to draw a cloud, and then it's called condensation. So in that way, you already have the first step from evaporation to condensation. And the colder air causes water vapor to condense into the clouds. So that's where you have the condensation. And then the water droplets form in the clouds, which fall to earth as precipitation. Then you can draw another cloud, and then it makes rainfall. It's called a precipitation. When the rainfall reaches the ground, it can cause runoff. So it's here. Rainfall on the land flows down from downhills here. So where it flows to the river, to the ocean. So that's called a runoff. And some runoff, they soak into ground. Then they become groundwater. And that process, we call it infiltration. Then you just need to finish the arrow, and the water can also move to ocean. So you can see now we finished the water cycle. So it's from the sun, the heat makes the water moving, and first it's the water evaporates from the ocean, and here it's evaporation, and meets the cold air, forms the cloud. It's called a condensation, and later the water droplets becomes water, becomes rainfall, and the rainfall land on the land and flows back to the ocean, and some rainfall goes underground and called groundwater. So you can see, let me move the camera so you can see better. So in that way, it's the whole water cycle. So like I said, you can just draw it on a Ziploc bag to show your kids, or you can just draw a paper, and then later on you can ask your kid to draw this water cycle on a Ziploc bag. And after they draw it on the Ziploc bag, what you need to do is just to get water and a little bit food coloring. So food coloring is not necessary, but I prefer you use that just because you can make water blue, so it will be more visible, so it will be much more fun for kids to observe. So you just add like a little bit. Make the water blue. I didn't get anything to stir, but I did get a measuring cup. So what you can do is you can ask if you have younger kids, then what they can do is just to get water into the Ziploc bag. You don't need a lot, just a little bit, just to fill the line. Because if you have a line of ocean, that way you can see better. If you have a line of ocean, you can just fill the water up to that water line. So in that, it just represents water. And here, you have your water cycle bag. You have your water cycle bag. Remember, the key for water cycle is the sun. So we need the heat of the sun to make it work. So what you want to do next is you just tape it to the window. So after you tape it to the window, then you can see it will make the water evaporate and then condensate. So when there's enough condensation, then you can see some water droplets. So it will become rainfall. So here is this activity you can do with your kids. It's water cycle in a bag. And I will post a picture later after I tape it to the window. And if you want any instructions, feel free to comment in the below. And also, I'm looking forward to seeing some water cycle pictures you did with your kids. So that's today's Facebook Live. And thank you for your time. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Bye.